Hey, so my name is Michael Kaufman, and I'm a senior at Carlisle High School. I just want to first start off by saying thank you to Harrisburg University for giving me the opportunity to build such an amazing project. Without you guys, I would have not been able to complete this. They're an amazing school. They fulfill a lot of needs that every student needs to complete whatever they want, and it's just amazing. I had such a great time completing this project. They've given me such a great year this year, and just thank you so much for this opportunity. Without further ado, we're going to go into my project. So, my project is a magic mirror. So, basically, it reflects the side that you're looking at and lets light in on the other side. So, basically, I built a wooden frame that I will be showing you here next. So, as you can tell here, there's a lot going on. So, first off, what we did was my dad helped me build a wooden frame that is about 3 inches thick, and I myself furnished it so that it gives a nice shining look as well, but that's why you see smudges here. So these smudges are going to be covered up by a cover that I'll explain later. So first off, we're going to explain the order of these things that are in this frame. So first thing you see that something's shining right here, right? Right here is the other side of the two-way mirror. That side lets light in. And then on top of that mirror, we have the monitor. The monitor will shine light through this side and it will display on the reflective side. So, how did I keep it all in place? Well, you can see that I've added shims that are screwed in and nylon strap that prevent it from moving like left, right, or up and down. So it's really secure here. So, now you're wondering what all the cables are. Okay, so first off, we have HDMI input that goes in an angle to make sure it fits in, and then it goes in to micro HDMI into the Pi input. So then we also have AC power that connects to this outlet, and I'll explain what this outlet does in a second. And then we also have this AC power that gives power to the monitor that also goes into this input, or this outlet. So what does this outlet lead to? Well, this outlet leads to one main source that goes out of the mirror. So I've drilled a hole here so that I could get one cord escaping my mirror to power all of it. And that's what I did. So you also may notice that there is some Velcro on the side here. There's Velcro and hangers. So the Velcro plays two roles. First role is this cover. This cover I use is going to cover up, obviously, all of what's behind here. I'll put it on neatly later. But basically, it covers the whole back so that no one else has to look at, what this mess is. I try to keep it neat, but, no one wants to see the whole mess. They want to see a nice furnished mirror. But the second role it plays is it prevents any other light from coming in. So the light that comes in is going to decrease the sharping look that the monitor will give to the other side. So with less light coming in, the sharper the image is going to be on the reflective side of the mirror, and I'll show that in the next take. And then obviously I have hangers if I ever wanted to hang it on a wall, which obviously I will. It's a mirror. So yeah, that is what is inside the mirror. And now we're going to look at what it looks like when it boots up. Okay, before moving on, I just want to clarify what mirror I'm using. So the mirror I'm using is called a two-way mirror. A two-way mirror basically lets light in through one side and reflects everything on the other side. So the side that is being displayed in the overall project is reflective side, but the monitor is shining light so that it travels through and displays the time, weather, date, and everything. So that's what I just wanted to clarify about this two-way mirror. What you see here is we have the cover that is now neatly placed onto the back, and we have one source. Obviously, the hole that I drilled is the only thing that gives it a flat back. I can run my hand over it and be flat. So that is why we drilled a hole here, so we can have one source, the plug. But the other thing that I want to point out is this little hole here. This gives access to the hangers, but another thing is ventilation. So one of the things that might be, a concern is ventilation. The Pi obviously needs to vent. So I gave it a little breatheway here. It's not much. So another thing that I took into play was finding another way to get ventilation here. So instead of installing like a fan inside, I did something else. To fix the ventilation issue, I ordered a different case, which is called an argon aluminum case. And basically the whole thing itself is a heatsink, and this decreases the temperature of the Raspberry Pi by apparently 10 degrees Celsius, which is more than enough. So that's what I did. Okay, so I'm going to show you what it looks like when I'm flipping it over. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take this whole mirror, and you're going to see what the front looks like. So everything clearly stays in place. When I flip it over, get it behind this table, and I'm going to set it on the table. Okay, so now that we have the mirror on this table, it's nice and flat. Obviously I don't want it to fall over, but this is what the other side of the mirror looks like. Obviously it reflects my hand, so this is the reflective side. And you'll see in a second on how the display will look like when the monitor shines light, and you're going to see that here in a second. Okay, so I just want to talk about the basis of my project. So the basis of my project was to get the time, weather, date, and stuff, everything to display on my mirror. But I've gone above and beyond by making a voice control, and I want to show you what that looked like. It's so cool. So I got my mirror hooked up to my Google Assistant, and basically it turns on command. And so here is how it goes. Hey Google, turn on smart mirror.
Sure, turning on smart mirror.
There you go. Okay, and now the monitor boots up, or turns on, sorry, and now the Pi is booting up. So that is what voice control looks like. And now next I will be showing you what the full display looks like. There we go. This is what the full display of the actual Magic Mirror looks like. So as you can tell, it's a mirror, but not only that, it also displays all these other, what we call modules. So I just want to say what these modules do and how they work. So I have a basic configuration file, and this configuration file contains the original download of the Magic Mirror, and I'll explain what those are. So the original parts of the configuration file was the calendar, time, date, the update notification, the newsfeed, the weather, and the compliments. That's what was the original part. The things I've added and edited were the colors of symbols, the fade points, colors of dates, the weather icons, adding air quality for my town, as well as adding sunset and sunrise times, the wind, and humidity. I've even added stocks and this background that is snowflakes. I don't know if you can tell, but yes, those are snowflakes falling on my mirror. It's pretty cool. I've even added this URL, which I will describe momentarily, and then I've added Spotify that displays the album cover, the time that's left in the song, the artist, and the album itself. So that is what the mirror actually looks like. Another thing I want to talk about, and is the most important thing about this mirror, is this URL right here. This URL is a URL to my phone, which is actually just what I made, an app. So this app that I created is super helpful because it preserves power that the Pi doesn't need to use by turning off modules I don't want. So I can turn off the calendar and it disappears. So, and I can simply just click the button again and it adds it right back. This is so helpful because, Pis can overheat, and if I don't need that module running at the moment, why do I have it on it? So I can turn it off like that. But I can also do this so I can have more space for the other modules, such as newsfeed. I turn it off, everything moves up, and there's more space. And that is why this thing is so helpful. It can do more than that though. I can restart my Pi, I can turn off the monitor, I can shut down my Pi. This thing is a beast. So I turn this into an app, and basically how it works is my phone has an IP address, right? And this mirror also has an IP whitelist. The IP whitelist basically is like a person that has a list of people that is allowed access to the mirror. So it's like my phone was given permission to access my mirror's files. That's because it's in the IP whitelist. I will not be showing you my IP address, so you cannot control my mirror, unfortunately. But yes, that is how the mirror in the module of my smartphone device actually works. So this is one of the main sources and files that I edited the most out of all files downloaded from Michael Tew's Magic Mirror documentation. So he is the main source of the project, but what I edited in was the difference of the calendars. So I added my URL for my calendar. I added the weather forecasts to my own city, as well as making Spotify included right here. And then this is the position part of the configuration. And then we have AV stocks. This is where I configured the stocks as well as the snow background and the remote control. So this is what the file looks like, and to change the colors, this was JavaScript, by the way. So I used JavaScript to edit this file, and then I used CSS to change the colors of all the icons as well as the fonts and the space it takes up. So that is what I edited in this code. So this wraps up my Raspberry Pi project. I hope you enjoyed it. I can't stress enough how grateful I am for Harrisburg University to be sponsoring Carlisle Area School District. This project would have not been able to be completed without them. Thank you again so much. Yeah, and that wraps up my Raspberry Pi project. And so we're gonna end it off with voice control. Hey Google, turn off Smart Mirror.
Sure, turning off smart mirror.
And that's it. Thank you, everybody.